Kyle here from allmediareviews.blogspot.com, trying a little experiment. This is poor quality because it's at night, whatever. The whole mobile dialogue video, I'm not showing really much of any music, and I don't know. Anyway, I was just going to talk about a few things that happened this week that I haven't talked about on video. I picked up some vinyl, which I'll show maybe another video, and I won an auction, actually. I guess I could just mention that. Yeah, I won an auction. I mentioned it on Twitter for Murder by Death's album, like The Exorcist, but more breakdancing, the debut album from Murder by Death. I enjoyed the first two albums from Murder by Death. After that, I enjoyed I think it's the Finch soundtrack as well, which was all instrumental, but the singer after the second album started singing like Johnny Cash, and I've repeated this ad nauseum on social media and message boards for a while, for many years. So, but yeah, that one, I want to get the second one, which I'm blanking on the title. It's something about Survive, Who Will Survive? I can't remember the rest of it, but both of their first two albums have absurdly long titles. That doesn't detract from the music, thankfully, but kind of post-rock with piano, and I don't know, they use violin. They're a great band, Murder, but those first two albums were great albums, so that's why I wanted to get them on vinyl. I won one on eBay, a used copy for just $7. I can't complain about that price. My take on the new song from 22, the band from Norway, the title track, or in effect the title track, You Are Creating, from their album You Are Creating, Limb 1. Very good song, very energetic. The lyric video is a little cheesy, but I still like it. I'm not turned off by it that much. I don't want to wear the song out like I do with a lot of opening, like, first singles. I'll listen to them one or two or three times, maybe one or two times after that until I get to hear the whole record. So it got pushed back. It was supposed to come out on the 22nd of February, then it banned 22, of course. So, but the thing, I should make another video. Maybe I should just like stop after I finish this. I'll do this. 22, I figure they're like a few bands that it's just a matter, they need the right exposure, they should catch on, but it doesn't happen overnight. And I end up passing that video along, that link in the video, on, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 different sites, and nobody commented. It's unbelievable. And I'm not sure why, because they're progressive rock, but they're accessible enough that, I mean, they're a little crazy, but they're not too crazy, and they're poppy enough. The singer is good enough that he's not nauseating. He doesn't have a screechy voice. For people that like progressive rock, they should really get into this band. But I've seen this pattern. Sometimes they catch on later, so I guess if the album doesn't catch on right away, I won't be surprised. I'll still like to see it, and I'll probably still pass the information along, but maybe a year from now, or at least by like next summer or fall, if nobody's caught on to it, maybe on rateyourmusic.com, then it's another big failure, epic failure, maybe a few years later. But just like Apes and Androids or Ben Sinister. Now, Ben Sinister is kind of caught on a little bit, thankfully, with the help of Mike Portnoy and some other people, but House of Fools, I would say even to an extent some bands that have followings, like Cloud Cult's album last year, The Seeker, barely anyone caught on to that. Was it really that poor? I don't know. I just think either didn't get promoted, or not catching the right audience, or people need to just listen to it again and realize how brilliant it is. And 22 is a really interesting band. They do have elements of bands like the Mars Volta and Muse and the Deer Hunter, and some other bands, but they still stand out and they have their own sound. So, all right. So moving on, the rest this week. Well, another thing that I could mention, Lorraine Akindo, a band that did catch on after a little while and then kind of has stalled, but they've been releasing singles the last few months. They put out another single. I'm blanking on the title, but being on the Patreon program, if you sign up for the Patreon program, you get your bank account, you get it every time they put something up. It's supposed to be like every month. They had an issue with some of their living arrangements and costs, so they didn't have time to put a new song out every month like they meant to since they started it. But anyway, then the new album from Persephone with an F, Persefone, from Andorra, called Aathma, Aathma, came out, and I'm really loving it. Is it a lot like their old stuff? I can't say it's really not that different, but it's it still seems like they've stepped up the production. They've added a few new things. I don't know. It's more conceptual maybe, but I'm liking it, and I don't expect to be huge, but I wouldn't be surprised if the metal community catches on to it, just like they did a couple years ago with Spiritual Migration, their previous record. And I kind of almost see it like a little bit like the Textures record from last year. It's probably going to be one of my favorite metal albums of the year. I'd say it's probably been the top 5 already this year. So I'm kind of dealing with some traffic here, so I may have to stop this and go ahead and do another update, or this may be it. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.